Have you ever noticed how some people walk out of your life like you meant nothing, and then suddenly they come back like nothing ever happened? They broke your heart. They ignored your loyalty. They left you crying, questioning your worth. And just when you finally started healing, they show up again saying, "I've changed." Not everyone who returns deserves access to the new you. When someone who hurt you suddenly comes back into your life, it can feel confusing. They might speak words that sound sincere, apologize for past mistakes, or even act like nothing ever happened. Your heart might naturally want to forgive, to restore the old connection, and to relive the comfort and familiarity you once had. But the truth is, just because someone returns doesn't mean they have earned the right to your trust, your time, or your energy. The person they were before, the person who caused you pain, is not automatically transformed simply because they say they have changed. Words can be empty, and intentions without consistent action are meaningless. Access to your life now is a privilege, not an automatic right. You have grown since that moment of hurt. You are not the same person you were when they left or when they caused the heartbreak. You have learned lessons about your worth, your boundaries, and what you will and will not tolerate. Your experiences, your healing, and your spiritual growth have shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Allowing someone back without seeing evidence of true change is a risk to the very progress you fought so hard to achieve. It's important to pause and evaluate. Are they returning because they genuinely want to contribute to a healthy, respectful relationship? Or are they returning because they miss the comfort, attention, or benefits you once provided? True transformation shows up in humility, accountability, and consistent actions over time. Someone who has truly changed will not demand immediate trust or expect the same access they once had. They will demonstrate patience, respect, and an understanding that earning back a place in your life requires effort and sincerity. Protecting yourself does not mean being unforgiving or cruel. It means honoring your growth and the value of your heart. Your time, your energy, and your emotional space are sacred. Just because they return doesn't mean you must let them in the same way. You are allowed to set boundaries, prioritize your peace, and demand respect before allowing anyone back into your life. This is not rejection, it is wisdom. You are not the same, and your relationship should reflect the growth, healing, and strength you have worked so hard to build. Pain was the beginning of your transformation. The moments when someone hurt you, left you feeling abandoned, or betrayed your trust were not just random trials. They were the starting point of a deeper work in your life. Pain often feels unbearable in the moment. It makes your chest tight, your mind restless, and your heart heavy. You may have wondered why this was happening to you, why you had to endure the disappointment, or why someone you trusted could cause so much hurt. But pain is rarely just punishment or misfortune. It is a tool for growth. It forces you to face your own emotions, to confront your vulnerabilities, and to question the patterns that allowed hurt to enter your life in the first place. In those quiet, painful moments, God begins to work on the inside, shaping resilience, character, and understanding. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, and every prayer whispered in desperation became part of the process that molded you into a stronger, wiser person. Pain teaches you lessons that comfort cannot. It teaches you the value of self-respect, the importance of boundaries, and the power of discernment. It forces you to reevaluate relationships, priorities, and even your own expectations of yourself and others. Most importantly, it draws you closer to God, showing you that He is faithful even when human beings are not. Healing does not erase the memory of pain, but it transforms it into wisdom. The hurt that once made you feel weak becomes the source of your strength, and the experiences that left you broken give you the clarity to avoid repeating the same patterns. Those who come back into your life after hurting you may not understand this, but you do. They may expect the same heart, the same access, and the same forgiveness they once took for granted. But your pain has changed you. Your experiences have refined your character and sharpened your discernment. You are no longer the person who can be easily manipulated or hurt in the same way. Pain prepared you for a future where you can love more wisely, live more intentionally, and protect what matters most. In this way, what once felt like suffering was actually the seed of your transformation, the divine preparation for a life of strength, clarity, and purpose. Sometimes their return is a test of your growth. When someone who hurt you comes back into your life, it can feel like a second chance or an opportunity to restore what was lost. Their presence may stir old emotions, hope, fear, longing, or even resentment, and it can be tempting to respond the way you once did, giving them the same access to your heart that they once misused. But this return is not always about reconciliation. Often, it is a test to see how much you have grown since the pain they caused. Growth is measured in the choices you make when faced with familiar challenges. It is reflected in the boundaries you set, the wisdom you exercise, and the emotional strength you now carry. When someone returns, the universe or God gives you an opportunity to demonstrate whether you have learned from the heartbreak and hardships of the past. Will you allow yourself to be drawn back into the same cycle of hurt, or will you respond differently, guided by maturity and clarity? This test is not meant to punish you. It is meant to protect you. It is a way to see if you have internalized the lessons of your pain and allowed them to shape you into a stronger, more discerning person. The return of someone from your past reveals your progress, your self-respect, and the boundaries you are willing to enforce. It challenges you to differentiate between people who have genuinely changed and those who simply want the comfort they lost. Often, the one who hurt you may expect an immediate forgiveness or return to familiarity, but growth refuses to be rushed. It is deliberate, patient, and measured. The way you respond shows that you are no longer defined by your past pain, but by the strength you cultivated through it. True growth also allows for compassion without compromise. You can wish someone well, forgive them in your heart, and still maintain the distance necessary for your peace. The return of a person who once hurt you becomes a mirror, reflecting whether you have truly transformed or if you are still susceptible to the same patterns. By responding with discernment, patience, and intentionality, you demonstrate that your life is no longer controlled by past wounds, but guided by the lessons they taught. This test proves that the person you were when they hurt you is not the person you are today, and it challenges them to meet the new, stronger version of yourself. Forgiveness does not mean restoring the same relationship. One of the hardest lessons life teaches us is that forgiving someone who hurt us does not automatically require us to let them back into our hearts in the same way. Forgiveness is an act of liberation, a conscious choice to release the burden of anger, bitterness, or resentment. But it is not the same as reinstating the trust and intimacy that was once broken. When someone comes back after causing pain, we may feel torn between wanting to forgive and wanting to protect ourselves. It's important to understand that forgiving is about your peace, not their redemption or immediate reintegration into your life. True forgiveness allows you to heal internally. It frees you from carrying the weight of past wounds, but it does not obligate you to return to the same dynamic that led to the hurt. People often confuse forgiveness with reconciliation, thinking that forgiving requires them to resume the same closeness or access to their heart. But wisdom teaches that reconciliation is earned over time through consistent actions, humility, and demonstrated change. Allowing someone back without proof of transformation can put you in a vulnerable position, opening the door to repeated patterns of pain. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a gift to yourself. It is the choice to no longer be controlled by the actions or mistakes of others. You can forgive someone while maintaining boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. In fact, the strongest version of forgiveness often includes distance, not proximity. You can wish someone well, pray for them, and release the anger while still recognizing that their presence in your life may no longer be safe, healthy, or beneficial. Maintaining this boundary does not make you unkind. It makes you wise. It acknowledges that your heart, your energy, and your growth are sacred and deserve protection. Forgiveness heals, but it does not require you to sacrifice your peace or compromise your progress. By separating forgiveness from automatic reconciliation, you honor both your capacity to love and your right to self-respect. This perspective allows you to approach relationships with discernment, understanding that some people may be part of your story only in lessons, not in permanent connection. In essence, forgiveness is a powerful tool to restore your inner peace while maintaining boundaries ensures that your outer life reflects the strength, clarity, and wisdom you gained from the pain you endured. Protecting the healing God gave you is one of the most important lessons you can learn after experiencing hurt. When someone who has caused you pain comes back into your life, it can be tempting to let them in, to give them another chance, or to believe that their return is a sign of redemption. But the truth is, your healing journey was hard-won, sacred, and necessary for the person you are becoming. Every tear you cried, every moment of loneliness, and every prayer you whispered in desperation was part of a process that built strength, resilience, and wisdom within you. Allowing someone back into your life without careful consideration can compromise all the progress you have made. Healing is fragile in the sense that it requires conscious effort to maintain, but it is also powerful because it transforms your heart, mind, and spirit. Protecting it means setting boundaries that honor your growth. It means refusing to allow familiar patterns of hurt to repeat themselves. It means understanding that just because someone returns, it does not mean they are entitled to the same access, intimacy, or emotional investment as before. Protecting your healing also means trusting your instincts. If your heart senses that their return is not aligned with true change or respect, you must honor that warning. God often allows people to walk away for your protection, and their return may be a test to see if you have truly internalized the lessons of the past. True protection of your healing is not about harboring anger or bitterness. It is about wisdom, discernment, and prioritizing peace. It is about recognizing that your emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being are too valuable to give away lightly. Healing equips you with clarity to see who belongs in your life and who does not. It allows you to differentiate between those who have genuinely changed and those who simply desire comfort or nostalgia. By guarding your heart and the progress you have made, you honor the work God has done in you. You also set a standard for how others must approach you through humility, respect, and patience if they hope to be part of your life again. Ultimately, protecting the healing God gave you is a declaration that your journey, your peace, and your future are sacred. It ensures that the person you have become is never compromised by those who failed to value you before, and it allows your life to continue on the path of purpose, strength, and divine alignment.